There we are. Let's do it again. All right. Tablet, coffee, sign, robe. We're ready. We got this. Can I go back to bed yet? Can't remember the last time I went back to bed. I think the last time I went back to bed was July 4th. Yeah. All right. Anyway, good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Thursday, August 8th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this right here is my first cup of coffee. So good. Well, it's a rainy, dreary day. We had a bunch of thunderstorms last night. Lots of lightning. We didn't hear the thunder, but the sky was pretty lit up. I had a pretty productive day. Scheduled a bunch of meetings. Looks like we got some more product that should be hitting the warehouse pretty soon. Oh, I dropped a new shirt. I didn't mention that on here. If you haven't been to whistlekick.com in a while, go check it out. I had probably like 2 or 3 new shirts in the last couple months. And the last one I put up takes our best saying, our best liked slogan, phrase from social media, and puts it on the back of a shirt. What does it say? It's a black belt isn't something you are, it's something you become. Something like that. I'll probably remember after I have more coffee. But go check that shirt out. It's pretty cool. Yum, 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 yum. What else? No, I went to the gym and hung out, dinner. It was a good day. It was a good day. I'm in the midst of this purge of excess physical possessions, which goes back to the martial arts radio episode with Chris and Holly Santillo. And yesterday somebody met up with me and bought my 4-bike hitch receiver bike rack. Boom. They're gonna take their kids on a bike trip to Maine. Awesome. And I got $40. Was better than that, right? Speaking of martial arts radio, there's an episode of martial arts radio. What is it? Let's find out. What did we air today? Because I never remember. Nope, that's IMDb. Come on. Oh. This was fun. I had a conversation with Dr. Sensei Doctor, Paul Zare, who is one of the world's foremost researchers on neuroscience, and he also happens to be a martial artist and an author. So we had an awesome talk about martial arts and its impact on the brain. So you can check that out. That should be on YouTube. It is definitely at whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. You'll find it in podcast feed. So take a look at that. And I got some questions here to answer. I'm going to go through these. And remember, if you want to ask me a question, drop it below. I love answering questions. It's far easier than coming up with something to talk about when I'm devoid of caffeine. All right, question 1. What have you learned from watching the show Warrior? I think the number one thing that I learned is that amazing martial arts can happen in, how do these work? That martial arts movies and television can come with a great story. I love Into the Badlands. The martial arts in that show is amazing. The story is very good, but it's not great. The story in Warrior is great. The acting, the writing, it is all done exceptionally well. And that's not something that typically happens. most martial arts movies and shows tend to be martial arts first and movie or show second, right? It's like connecting the dots of a bunch of demos. It's not what Warrior did. I've also seen plenty of movies and shows that have a great plot and a little bit of martial arts. They found a way to make both really good. And if you listen to the episode I did with Shannon Lee, you get some insight to that. If you listen to Monday's episode with Rich Ting, you get even more insight into that. He talks about that a lot, about their process and how they went into it, and why he thinks it's so exceptional. And my hope is that we'll start to see more of it. You know, we saw something on AMC. We've got something on Cinemax. Is somebody going to step up from a major network? Are we going to see something on Fox? Are we going to see something on Fox? Would probably be the most likely, but ABC, NBC, CBS. Are we going to see, you know, the next kung fu or martial law? Fingers crossed, because oh, I just spilled coffee. That's sad. That's less coffee I get to drink, and it's hot and burned my leg. Didn't really burn my leg, but it's still hot. Yeah. What's next? That's on the tablet too. I can't be trusted. Start drinking out of a sippy cup. What do you think is the greatest contribution Bruce Lee made to the martial arts? So if you haven't heard the episode, I want to say it's 37, 39, somewhere there, where I did an episode talking about Bruce Lee of Martial Arts Radio. You might want to check that one out, because I go and I talk about this quite a bit. But bottom line, 45 years later, more than, Bruce Lee is still the greatest ambassador and well-known figure of the martial arts. He's been gone close to 50 years, and he's still the best representative we have. He's still probably the single most inspirational person for people to get into martial arts. And while I value that role, and I'm glad somebody occupies that role, I think it's a shame that we haven't had anybody else come in. Nobody else has stepped up. So his contributions, Casper's asking if I ever want to go to the EU. Sure. I haven't. When was the last time I was in Europe? 2003. So he provides that role model role, that inspirational role to people, and he occupies this kind of spiritual place. I mean, if you say something bad about Bruce Lee, you catch hell. The feedback that Matthew Polly received for his book. You know, here this man does 7 years of research, talks to everyone, and people who know nothing, referencing other people who know nothing and have done no research, are not just disagreeing with him, but angry because he said some things that, while accurate, may not have been the most positive about Bruce Lee. People treat Bruce Lee in this very interesting way. Colored uniforms are not only in the works, but exist. Black uniforms are available at, we may have a few at whistlekick.com, but most of them are at Amazon. So check out our Amazon listings for our Luminary line, available in both black and white. Wow. Live questions. We don't usually get too many live questions. I like that. So what's his greatest contribution? If he's filling that role, how does that contribute? I would say Bruce Lee is probably responsible for more people getting into the martial arts than any other person. Yeah, and that's pretty powerful. It's pretty important. And then the third question, I'm actually going to tie these two together in a second. If Bruce Lee were alive today, do you think the martial arts would be different? I do. I don't think that he would occupy the role that he does if he were still alive. He died at the peak of his career. Well, what we suspect was the peak of his career. We don't know for sure. He died young. And those two conditions create a bit of mysticism around people. And if he'd, you know, died at, you know, 65 or 80, would he have had that same impact? Probably not. How many people live to be that old and don't fade away? Most people fade away. Sylvester Stallone's a good example of someone who's not fading away. The new Rocky movie coming out. The new Rambo movie coming out. But who knows? Maybe Bruce Lee would have done the same thing. He would have kept making movies and kicking butt in older age. Cat is clawing the carpet this morning and driving me crazy. Stop clawing the carpet. I just think bottom line, as big of a... I don't think Bruce Lee would be as elevated in the way he's looked at today had he not passed away so young. It's not to take anything away from his movies, it's not to take away anything from his achievements, it's just culturally what we seem to do. So, on the one hand, obviously it's sad that he passed away so early because we lost out. There would have been more of his philosophical explorations. Hi, Paul. Good morning. There would have been more of his explorations and research into what is Jeet Kune Do. We would have had more movies, maybe some TV. Maybe Warrior would have starred him, or he would have at least worked on the show. But he wouldn't occupy the space that he does. He wouldn't be that mystical leader of the martial arts that he is. And so, selfishly, and it's, I don't mean to say this in a callous way, the martial arts is better for him passing early. Yeah, I think that's where I'll leave those questions. So, what do you think about Bruce Lee? I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you respond to the questions that I answered today? Would love for you to drop your comments below. I'll give you some homework in a minute. But don't forget, we do the show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, live, right here on YouTube. You can catch it later on YouTube, of course, or in your podcast app, or at firstcupwithjeremy.com. If you want to ask me a question, those go below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you get the little ringy-dingy when I'm going live. And you've probably got to be at least 40 to get the ringy-dingy reference. What the hell? Oh, drinking coffee is hazardous. All right, so here's your homework. I want you to think about the most influential person on your martial arts. If Bruce Lee is the most influential person on the martial arts, who's the most influential person on your martial arts? That might be the person who got you into martial arts. It might be the person who inspired you to pursue a new martial art or to look at martial arts in a different way. It could be a spouse, it could be a child, it could be an instructor. It could be Bruce Lee. I don't know. But I'd like you to take some time today contemplating how that person impacted your martial arts and thus your life. We don't tend to draw those connections too often, but I think it's important to understand why and how things happen. And this being a martial arts show, let's think about it in terms of martial arts. And if you have somebody that you want to shout out that was influential on your martial arts, mention them below. Tell us a little bit about them and why why they mean so much to you. I hope you have a fantastic day. I will see you back here tomorrow for Friday's episode. Take care. Peace.